serving America's great sports networks. You're watching Prime Network.
There have been plenty of long faces in Sacramento as the gold miners have endured a tough first season. Fight for Sacramento. Archer is on the verge of going where only two CFL quarterbacks have gone before. Over 6,000 yards in passing.
I think it's been a tough season record-wise, but I think we've gained a lot of experience. I think it's going to benefit us down the road. I think the fans have something very, very positive to look forward to.
There were plenty of long faces on the BC Lions sideline last week. The Lions were humbled at home by the Edmonton Eskimos. Now left to pick up the pieces, the Lions try to reverse the trend, but there are many questions that must be answered after last week's loss.
What happened last week was that we ran into a very good football team that played extremely confident. I think we have to put that behind us and go back to playing football the way we did earlier in the year.
Tonight, Sacramento's first season comes to an end while the Lions wonder what the postseason will bring. The CFL Live on TSN is brought to you by Pepsi. Be young, have fun, drink Pepsi. And by Mark's Work Warehouse, clothes that work. As winter descends on much of Canada, we're pleased to report it's very nice here in Northern California. 19 degrees. The gold miners season ends tonight. The Lions still have much work to do. Hi, everybody. Welcome to the CFL Live. I'm Gord Miller. We'll save you the calculators and the slide rules and try to explain the BC Lions situation as simply as possible. If they win tonight, they'll either finish second or third in the West. If they lose, they could still finish fourth. So the key for the Lions, win tonight and avoid the Calgary Stampeders in the first round of the playoffs. But remember, there are still 4 different playoff possibilities in the CFL West as the regular season comes to a close. To talk more about this game, here's John Wells.
All right, Gord, last week all the Lions had to do was win over the Eskimos to clinch second spot. Tonight they'll have to win and hope for the Eskimos against Calgary tomorrow. But there is hope for the BC Lions. For the Sacramento Gold Miners, well, they're playing for next year's jobs, all except one guy in particular. Quarterback Dave Archer, who's had a simply sensational season through a lot of adversity in this first season for the Gold Miners.
Yeah, John, I think the adversity for David Archer was playing with an entire rookie receiving corps all season long and waiting for those players to mature. You combine that with the fact that he was sacked 70 times in 17 games, and only then do you realize just how truly impressive his passing totals have been this year. To think that he's only 352 yards away from the 6,000-yard mark in one season is truly incredible. And combine that again with the fact that only Doug Flutie and Kent Austin have done that previously in CFL history with all their experience. And I think you go back and say, hey, David Archer had one unbelievable year in the inaugural Sacramento season.
And coming up from Sacramento, the CFL Live. It is the final game of the Gold Miners' inaugural year in Canadian football.
I'm Diane Parkinson, and after 18 years on The Price is Right and all those swimsuits, I've learned the secret to a good figure. It's right here, a firm tummy. That's why I'm so excited about something new, something simpler than sit-ups. It's called Easy Crunch. Easy Crunch, the greatest tummy toner I've ever found. It's so simple you can do it anytime, anywhere, by the pool, at the office, or even watching TV.
With 2 kids, it's hard to work out, but I find time with Easy Crunch.
I like to exercise when I'm watching TV, and I can use Easy Crunch while I'm sitting down.
Aerobic exercise is great, but it took Easy Crunch to firm my tummy.
Easy Crunch works all 3 abdominal muscle groups. The forward crunch works the upper abdominals. Knee-ins target your lower stomach muscles, and the rotator crunch works your waistline. The secret is in the special rocking cylinder, which allows your body to move in an easy, natural arc through a full range of motion, similar to those $3,000 machines you find in the gym.
The result? A firmer, tighter stomach without having to do one single sit-up.
I hate sit-ups, but I love my Easy Crunch.
I'm too busy to go to the gym. Easy Crunch works at home.
Easy Crunch takes just a few minutes a day, and it works.
Easy Crunch comes with 5 power bands so you can change the resistance. That makes it perfect for everyone.
Now you can get a firmer stomach without doing a single sit-up. Call and order your Easy Crunch today.
The price is right. Easy Crunch, including 5 power bands and instruction booklet, is yours for just 3 easy payments of $9.95. To order, call 1-800-842-7900. That's 1-800-842-7900. We'll bill your credit card 3 easy payments of $9.95, plus $4.95 shipping and handling. And we won't bill your last payment until you've tried it for a full 60 days. Use your credit card to avoid COD charges, or send check or money order for the full amount to the address on your screen. Or call 1-800-842-7900 now.
When is a stamp not just a stamp?
Stamp, this is a legend.
When is a stamp not just a stamp?
When it's really cool.
A stamp is more than a stamp when it's worth hanging on to.
When it means something to you.
This season, we've got stamps that mean something to lots of people. So call for our free holiday catalog. You'll find stamps worth saving and sharing as gifts, plus some holiday surprises. Call for our free catalog now. So, when is a stamp not just a stamp? When is a stamp not just a stamp?
When it's a mighty big adventure.
Catch up on a classic. New Youth Classic stamps at your post office for a short time only. Or call for our free catalog.
The man in this car has been drinking, and he's in no condition to be driving. The next time you've been drinking, learn a lesson from this guy. Take a cab.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to the CFL Live. I'm Gord Miller. We'll save you the calculators and the slide rules and try to explain the BC Lions situation as simply as possible. If they win tonight, they'll either finish second or third in the West. If they lose, they could still finish fourth. So the key for the Lions, win tonight and avoid the Calgary Stampeders in the first round of the playoffs. But remember, there are still 4 different playoff possibilities in the CFL West as the regular season comes to a close. To talk more about this game, here's John Wells.
All right, Gord, last week all the Lions had to do was win over the Eskimos to clinch second spot. Tonight they'll have to win and hope for the Eskimos against Calgary tomorrow. But there is hope for the BC Lions. For the Sacramento Gold Miners, well, they're playing for next year's jobs, all except one guy in particular. Quarterback Dave Archer, who's had a simply sensational season through a lot of adversity in this first season for the Gold Miners.
Yeah, John, I think the adversity for David Archer was playing with an entire rookie receiving corps all season long and waiting for those players to mature. You combine that with the fact that he was sacked 70 times in 17 games, and only then do you realize just how truly impressive his passing totals have been this year. To think that he's only 352 yards away from the 6,000-yard mark in one season is truly incredible, and combine that again with the fact that only Doug Flutie and Kent Austin have done that previously in CFL history with all their experience, then I think you go back and say, hey, David Archer had one unbelievable year in the inaugural Sacramento season.
And coming up from Sacramento, the CFL Live. It is the final game of the Gold Miners' inaugural year in Canadian football. We're ready for the kickoff at Hornet Field in Sacramento as the Lions go gunning for second spot in the CFL West. The Lions and the Gold Miners in the final game. What is going to be the difference in this one tonight?
Well, John, I think it's simple. For the BC Lions, the difference will be the quarterbacking. Danny McManus will start tonight, but their combined totals last week were 8 for 28 in a horrible loss to the Edmonton Eskimos. So obviously they have to rebound, and the BC Lions, to have any chance to have a home field playoff game, the quarterbacks have to play well.
Tonight's starting lineups brought to you by Speedy Auto Glass. Don't take a chance. Take your auto glass repairs and replacement to Speedy Auto Glass. The opening kickoff is bobbled on the far side of the field, but the Gold Miners get excellent field position despite that. David Archer has started every game for the Gold Miners. Archer has a shot at 6,000 yards passing in his first CFL season. The Sacramento backfield, one constant all season long with the two Mikes, Oliphant and Pringle. The outside receivers are Dixon and Harris with Carl Parker and James Pruitt inside.
And an offensive line that's going to have to be very conscious of where number 57, O.J. Brigance, is tonight. Brigance with 19 sacks, and this is the group that'll have to protect David Archer.
Gold Miners beginning at their own 51-yard line, and Archer has time as he swings one out of the backfield. A 1-yard gain for Pringle as Brigance came up to make the tackle on Mike Pringle. On defense, John McNeil steps in with Derek McCready and Glenn Scrivener up front. Jeff Jackson starts for Ty Jones in the linebacking core, along with West, Allen, and O.J. Brigance.
And a couple of real ball hawks on the corner. Veterans Andre Francis, Les Brown, Tom Europe took over from Sean Pooty in the middle safety spot. He has gotten better and better every game.
2nd and 9. Gold Miners at the 52. Archer uses the shotgun. Another swing pass to Pringle. He couldn't make the catch and took a pretty good hit from Jackson, number 42. So it's 2 and out for the Gold Miners in the opening sequence.
Jeff Jackson, who's in the lineup replacing Tyrone Jones tonight, gets an early big hit. And usually that's an indication of how well a team is going to play. How aggressive are they early in the ball game? And Mike Pringle found out in a hurry that 42 Jeff Jackson was ready to play. And that's a nice opening series defensively for the BC Lions. Last week was a horror show for them, and tonight it looks like they are much better prepared.
Pete Gardere stepping across his 40 to get his first punt of the evening away. And this is the former Gold Miner, Freeman Basinger. Basinger looks for room to the right and has some. Tripped up by Pringle, a 42-yard punt.
And if Pringle doesn't make that tackle, Basinger goes all the way.
Danny McManus gets the start for the BC Lions at quarterback for the 3rd time this season. And there are some changes offensively for the Lions. Corey Philpott and Sean Millington together again 2 weeks in a row. Alexander and Flutie, the outside receivers. Inside, it's Basinger and Lonnie Turner.
The offensive line didn't have a good game against Edmonton last week, and every time they've done that, they've responded the week after with a very solid effort. We'll see if that carries through tonight.
The Lions beginning at the 29. McManus on target for Turner on his first pass. Maurice Miller making the tackle. And here's the way the Gold Miners line up defensively, with Ledbetter moving up to the defensive line alongside Hammond and Rob White. Greg Jolson also new in a starting role there. Corian Freeman, Curtis Moore, and Maurice Miller. Miller is the newcomer in the linebacking group.
These are the 5 starters in the secondary. They will play up to 7 defensive backs. All 7 are excellent one-on-one coverage. A real advantage for Sacramento this year.
On 2nd and short, McManus comes to the near side, and Alexander couldn't hang on. Derek Davis was covering on Alexander. That's a bit of a mismatch in height. Alexander substantially taller than Davis.
Nice offensive scheme for 3 receivers to clear out, with Ray Alexander coming underneath everybody, and he was wide open. Danny McManus simply overthrew him. Pass that should have been completed, and they should have picked up an easy first down. No question, Ray Alexander, the leader in that receiving core, and often so how he goes, so does the team.
Louis Pasaglia's punt, taken by Byron Jackson near the 35. And he lost yardage on the return. A 37-yard punt, and leading the tacklers was Kelly Sims. No score. It's early in the opening quarter in Sacramento. This is CFL Live.
Nobody brings you more blow-by-blow boxing than Prime.
Nailed again with the right and the left.
We take you ringside across the U.S.
Edwards is on wobbly legs. Six to go down, and he does. He has landed on the table right in front of us.
We cover the blockbusters in Europe.
That's a better punch. That hurt him at last. Bruno got through a punch that hurt him, and he's come out almost on top of it.
Knock yourself out with boxing on HSE.
It's been an up-and-down season for Kay Stevenson and the Sacramento Gold Miners. Tonight, that season comes to an end with an opportunity for the Gold Miners to have a winning record at home. Head coach Kay Stevenson looks back at the Miners' first year in the CFL.
Well, I'm not pleased. You know, obviously you want to win every ball game. Realistically, I knew coming in, the expansion team against established football teams, that probably was not going to be the case. I felt that we could have done a little better in some close ball games. You'd like to pull those out and maybe not had the one or two or three ball games that we didn't play well at all. I wish we could have avoided that. But we're making progress, and I think that we're going to have the foundation to be a pretty good football team.
I think Kay Stevenson's comments are interesting. You know, only 2 of the 17 games they've played have really been bad losses. They lost badly, of course, to Calgary last week, 41-8, and earlier in the season, 43-11 here in Sacramento against the Edmonton Eskimos. But outside of that, the other 15 games, you know, they've had 5 wins, and of those other games, you know, they haven't been blown out. They've been very competitive, and I'll tell you what, this is not a team that, you know, BC would have preferred to play somebody else, I think, for their final one of the season.
1st and 10 for the Gold Miners, beginning at the 30-yard line this time. Archer, a good fake. On play action, he has a wide-open receiver. That's Carl Parker, and he's out to the 50, number 86. Big play on first down, 29 yards. Archer to Parker.
And I think, obviously, David Archer took a look at the Edmonton film from a week ago up in Vancouver, and play action was an excellent play against the BC Lions defense. Carl Parker coming across the middle, and what that play action does, it just frees that linebacking core, Zach Allen and James West, and Parker had tons of room to maneuver and make a nice catch.
42 catches for Parker on the season, 630 yards now, and 2 touchdowns so far. First down, Sacramento, play action again. Archer has to get out of the pocket, and he'll run for the first down, heading to the sidelines and forced out at the 40. James West over to force Archer out. So back-to-back first downs for the Gold Miners.
I think this is one area of David Archer's play that is very underrated. Everybody told me at the beginning of the season, this guy can't run, but he's a sneaky runner. He's not as bad as everyone thinks. And, well, he did a nice job there to pick up a first down when nothing was open.
He actually put up some decent rushing numbers in the National Football League and led all quarterbacks in rushing one season.
Well, he averages almost 5 yards a carry, and that means that he has run with the ball. You know, anybody that just gets sacked all the time is down around 1 and 2, but he's not that bad.
From the 39 on first down, Archer stands in and has Dixon. Dixon has the first down. Solid Gold Miner drive as Dixon is inside the 20. Up to make the tackle, the Lion safety Tom Europe, a 23-yard gain.
David Archer indicated to me before the game, you know, he was really wondering what kind of team would show up for Sacramento tonight when there was nothing at stake. A couple of fellows that have shown up all season long have been Rod Harris and Titus Dixon. Dixon only 14 yards away from being the second Gold Miner to go over 1,000 yards.
Yeah, he's got that now. He only needed 14.
Yep.
So 2 1,000-yard receivers for the Gold Miners as a result of that last catch. Archer standing in, looking for the touchdown toss, and he overthrew Parker. Parker in behind the cover of Kelly Sims, and Archer just missed it.
I asked David Archer the $64,000 question before the game. You know, what would it mean to you to get 6,000 yards in your first season? He said, wow, obviously it would be a real thrill for me, but he said, tonight I can't go out thinking I need 352 yards. We have to just execute, and if we do all the things that we should, the chances are it will happen, and I really agree with that philosophy and that type of an attitude.
Rod Harris to the near side on 2nd and 10 as Archer operates from the shotgun. And again, he decides to take off. Archer is inside the 5-yard line. Stopped by Jeff Jackson to 2 substantial running plays for Dave Archer in this drive.
Well, that's the intangible you don't count on when you play defense against Archer. It's funny, I talked to Les Brown about that before the game. I said, you know, last week you had to worry about Damon Allen's rushing. This week you don't have to be bothered with that, and he agreed with me, but all of a sudden there's 2 big runs to keep this drive going on their second possession, but something you really don't count on defensively.
Gold Miners are first and goal to go at the BC 5 early in the opening quarter. No score so far, but Oliphant has the touchdown. A 5-yard touchdown for Mike Oliphant. That's his 13th of the season and his 8th rushing touchdown. Pretty nice year for Mike Oliphant, who has over 1,400 yards running and receiving in his first year in the CFL.
Well, there have been some bright spots for Sacramento. David Archer one, and of course the other has to be Mike Oliphant. Tremendous first season for him. You know, I talked about a lot of rookies that Archer's had to deal with. Oliphant, of course, is one of the few that has had pro experience, and it really has shown for him.
A solid drive for the Gold Miners in Sacramento. Nothing. This is CFL Live from California.
Nolan Ryan's as big as Texas. His Lone Star legacy will be cherished forever. Now Nolan wants to teach his pitching secrets to you from his hometown field.
You want to get as high and tall on the mound as you possibly can. Wherever your weakest length is, that's how strong you are. You cannot throw the baseball before your land foot hits the ground. You should not be able to tell by the velocity whether it was out of a stretch or out of a windup. Same way with your curveballs and your changeup.
Nolan Ryan's fastball. Instruction for all ages. Eavesdrop on Nolan and 1993 All-Star Randy Johnson.
Where you down in here. Right. If you take your natural ability and you learn to control your pitches, you will become a better pitcher. We have developed ways to help you do this.
Surely to become a collector's item. Order now and receive Nolan's best-selling autobiography absolutely free while supply lasts. Imagine a personal pitching clinic with Nolan Ryan himself.
Steve Gabbert, the left tackle, does a terrific job to set up this touchdown. As John McNeil rushes to the outside, they get the nice block right there, and then for Oliphant up through, but you see Zach Allen right in the middle. I mean, nobody blocks him. He really has to make this play on defense. And he has an easy shot at Oliphant, but Oliphant just a good move, and then shoulder square up to the line of scrimmage. He runs right through James West for the touchdown. But, you know, when you're not blocked as a linebacker like Zach Allen, I really think he has to stick his nose in there and be able to make the play.
5 plays, 80 yards, a very impressive drive capped off by the 8th touchdown this season for Mike Oliphant.
Hi, everybody back home.
At least along the ground.
Peace.
Freeman Basinger for the BC Lions beginning at his 12. And Basinger finds an extra 10 yards. He's dropped at the 31 by Leonard Nelson. Troy Mills also in on the tackle. So for Danny McManus and the BC Lions, it is a first down.
And I think an important series for Danny McManus after an awful week last week offensively. You know, some of that self-doubt creeps in, like, you know, how good are we? Were we overrated or playing above our heads earlier in the year? And now they find themselves down 7-0 to a team that's only won 5 games. I think this is a crucial series for them.
Basinger. And he'll have a first down. Basinger. Forced out by Derek Davis, number 22.
And only great speed can make this kind of a play. Freeman Basinger really was almost boxed in here. Gets a pretty good block from Ray Alexander, but this is just simple speed to get around Junior Robinson to the outside. And well, this is the fastest BC lineup they have had all season long with Basinger and Lonnie Turner at the slots. Now, hey, you'd like to have Trevathan and Clark in there, but this isn't a bad alternative.
First down Lions at the 41. Nowhere to go for Sean Millington, number 25. And the ball popped loose. The Gold Miners indicate they have recovered the fumble, and that is exactly the case. Another tough start for the BC Lions, who were in over their heads against the Eskimos at home last Friday night. And they're not starting off particularly well in this one.
Yeah, what I thought was a crucial series ends up in disaster. Sean Millington coughs up the football. I think he really gave up early on the hole that was created by Jim Mills, but with the hit by Ledbetter, the ball comes loose. And in fact, I think Ledbetter actually makes the recovery as well. So heck of a play by Ledbetter. And for Dave Ritchie, I think the roll eights are going to come out early.
Titus Dixon to the near side. It is first down. And this is Pringle with a big opening. Mike Pringle still on his feet. Pringle all the way for the touchdown. What a brilliant run by Mike Pringle, number 27. Third rushing touchdown of the season for Mike Pringle.
Rush the football a lot. In fact, they have the least amount of rushes of any team in the CFL. They do an effective job with it. And one of the things I've always kind of wondered is why they didn't run the ball more. And Mike Pringle takes it on the draw here. Huge blocks up front and good block of Tom Europe, the middle safety there to spring him the entire way. And then the extra effort gets him into the end zone with his third touchdown of the season. But boy, the Gold Miners, hey, for a team that's not going anywhere, they look awfully sharp here in the first quarter.
Yeah, interesting when you talk about that, Lee. Pringle averaged 4.5 yards per carry this season. Mike Oliphant, who carried the bulk of the rushing load for the Gold Miners, averaged 6.7, so they had some success along the ground.
Well, as a team, you know, they averaged almost 6 yards a carry rushing, but they've only had 240 rushing attempts, which ranks them last in the league. And, you know, had you asked me this at the beginning of the season, I would have said, yes, they'll be a very solid rushing club, but they have chosen to throw, obviously, far more than run. But well, you can see right here by this spectacular run that they could be a very effective team on the ground. And that's a deflating kind of run. I mean, you know, you're up 7-0 on BC. Now to run the draw and just shove it down BC's throat, that's kind of a play that can really wear on a defense.
Yeah, a couple of leaks in that BC defense evident already. And with 7:24 to play in the opening quarter, the Gold Miners have a surprising 14-0 lead on the BC Lions.
Well, for them, it's a fun game to play tonight. There's nothing at stake, and they're just trying to get better week in and week out. And they have been doing that, except for the little setback last week. But boy, this BC Lion team, you know, they're a little uptight.
Basinger fields it inside the 5. And there's room down the sidelines for Freeman Basinger, who's finally dropped down and then lost the ball. And again, the turnover goes to Sacramento. Everything is going the Gold Miners' way this night. And Dave Ritchie looking just about the way he did on the sidelines at Vancouver last Friday night, a little bit frustrated in the early going.
Well, there's nothing that Dave Ritchie can do. Basinger with a tremendous run, kind of carrying the ball a little loose right there. You'll see 33, Oliphant comes in, or actually 39, actually comes in, and Bobby Humphrey and knocks the ball loose, and Jim Crouch, the kicker, gets it before it goes out of bounds, and back-to-back turnovers for the BC Lions.
And again, terrific field position for Sacramento.
Boy, heads-up play by Bobby Humphrey. He just was absolutely going for the strip all the way.
Inside the 50, Archer on first down, looks to the shotgun, has a man open, it's Pruitt, and Pruitt can't make the catch, but a marker is down. Derek Greer covering on James Pruitt. And the flag is down at the BC 9.
David Archer told me he thought this was an area that they could work against tonight. Number 7, Derek Greer, has not had a lot of playing time this year for BC, and he gets caught strictly playing the man and not turning around to try and play the ball. He creates the contact before the ball gets there. Excellent call by the officials, but this was certainly one player that David Archer thought that they could go at tonight.
6:47 to go in the opening quarter, with the Gold Miners leading 14-0 already. And as a result of that penalty, Sacramento set up at the BC 9-yard line. First and goal to go from there. Oliphant slipped as he hit the line of scrimmage. No gain. Glenn Scribner was there. Mike Oliphant having a sensational season, over 1,400 yards. And that is second in Canadian football, right behind Dave Supungis. 2nd and goal to go. Gold Miners at the 9. Dixon down to the 1. Little slant in, and Dixon gets to the BC 1-yard line. 3rd and goal to go from there. What a tough start for the Lions.
And this is a pretty well-oiled offense right now. The timing perfect as Dixon comes in on the little swing pass, and you know things are going your own way when you can recover your own fumble down the goal line.
And bounced right back, Lee.
Here, keep this drive moving. It's taken them a while this year, but David Archer has certainly found a way to move this club.
Archer himself for the touchdown. 2nd rushing touchdown of the season for David Archer.
I think the look at Dave Ritchie says it all right now. He just can't believe this is kind of a shell-shocked BC Lion team. Certainly not what I expected. With 5 minutes to go in the first quarter, that Sacramento would be ahead, possibly 21-0. But David Archer caps off this drive with a touchdown of his own and 14 points directly on BC Lion turnovers. And that's the look right there. I don't think if you just tuned in right now, you'd know who was winning, wouldn't you?
Absolutely. That face says it all. Lions had big problems falling behind against the Eskimos. Early in the game, they gave up 30 points in the first half last week and 24 in the second. In the most important game of the season last week, the Lions came up flat. And they're looking for second spot tonight. Well, they're flat again. Dave Ritchie can't figure it out. He's down by 3 touchdowns already.
When is a stamp not just a stamp?
Stamp. This is a legend.
When is a stamp not just a stamp?
When it's really cool.
A stamp is more than a stamp when it's worth hanging on to.
When it means something to you.
This season, we've got stamps that mean something to lots of people. So call for our free holiday catalog. You'll find stamps worth saving and sharing as gifts, plus some holiday surprises. Call for our free catalog now. So, when is a stamp not just a stamp? When is a stamp not just a stamp?
When it's a mighty big adventure.
Catch up on a classic, new Youth Classic stamps at your post office for a short time only, or call for our free catalog.
21-0 is the score in favor of the Sacramento Gold Miners here in the first quarter, and Dave Ritchie absolutely beside himself on the BC sidelines. Before that last Sacramento series, Gene Gaines, one of the assistants on defense, was telling his players, whatever's happened has happened, forget about it. And then Ritchie came over and said, it doesn't matter what I call on defense, none of you guys want to play. It's last week all over again, and Dave Ritchie's fuse is getting very short.
It does look like last week all over again. Gold Miners up by 21-0. And here's the Sacramento kickoff taken by Freeman Basinger. He fumbled it the last time, second turnover of the game. This time he hangs on. Troy Mills makes the tackle, and the Lions begin at the 31.
Well, John, let's have a look at this playoff puzzle once again and the ramifications for the BC Lions. Of course, if they lose tonight, they finish 4th, and not what they had envisioned coming into tonight's game. A BC win would at least secure 3rd place, and a BC win coupled with an Edmonton win, Edmonton would then finish in 2nd.
Edmonton loss, you mean?
Edmonton loss,
yeah.
Lions would finish 2nd. Gets tough, doesn't it?
It's a little confusing, but basically Ritchie has to get some points on the scoreboard here right now. He wins tonight, puts a little pressure on the Eskimos tomorrow. If he doesn't win tonight, everything is decided for tomorrow afternoon.
Of course, the Eskimos playing against the Calgary Stampeders tomorrow. I understand Calgary's going to possibly start Steve Taylor, so BC Lions would have to be looking at winning tonight and hoping that would be favorable for them to have Taylor play instead of Flutie. No disrespect to Steve Taylor intended there, but
I would think you try and keep Flutie fresh at this stage of the season.
I don't disagree with that.
Good fake by McManus. Basinger, the intended receiver, and he drew double coverage, but Junior Robinson was there in particular. Number 21.
Well, Danny McManus, starting 2 games, had some big wins this year. Beat the Edmonton Eskimos. In one game was flawless, threw for almost 400 yards and 4 touchdown passes in that. Went into Regina. Danny Barrett was a little under the weather, and Danny McManus came up with a great effort, and they beat Saskatchewan. So he can get the job done. They've just got to give him some time to throw.
2nd and 10 for the Lions. He has time this time, and he has Darren Flutie for the second first down of the game for the Lions. Flutie still going as he crosses the 40 and then lost the ball again. And the goal miners say they have recovered. The officials see it differently. So the Lions will hang on to it. They've already turned it over twice and given up 14 points as a result of turnovers.
Obviously, what the BC Lions want to do is run some underneath patterns. Here you get the clear out, and then Darren Flutie just kind of lags in here and then gets in underneath the coverage of Derek Davis and makes a heck of a run after he catches the football. But it's a pretty good scheme to clear out, and then you get a lot of field to work with your wide receiver. He fumbled, but the ground caused the fumble, so they keep it.
Tips. Ledbetter got his hands on the pass from McManus. He looked to be trying to swing it out to Corey Philpott.
You know, Emmanuel King was playing defensive end and playing it pretty well, but he hurt his ankle last week, so they had to move Mark Ledbetter back to defensive end. And although I'm sure they would have much preferred to keep him at a linebacking position, it shows you just what a great player he is. Couldn't get the sack, got the hands up, and did the next best thing. He is their sack leader with 8 so far this season.
2nd and 10. The Lions at the 43. McManus, shotgun. Standing in. Open target. Ray Alexander. 3rd first down of the game. Alexander in front of Bobby Humphrey, who rates as the best player for the season for the gold miners in the secondary.
That'll be a good battle tonight. Bobby Humphrey with a lot of experience, and the same could be said for Ray Alexander. But I don't think there's any coincidence that when the Lions need a big play or a key catch to keep the drive going, this is the fellow that they go to once again, as he always does, over 1,000 yards. Doesn't seem to be that significant anymore. Everybody seems to be getting over 1,000.
Yeah, there's a pile of guys, and one more added to that total. Here's McManus with a little pressure, releasing for Millington, and Millington picks up another first down for the Lions, who are on a roll now. John Wiley, the safety, made the tackle.
Well, Sean Millington, as a fullback, averages almost 14 yards a catch, which is truly phenomenal for that position, but he is quite a specimen. 6'3", almost 225 pounds, and Danny McManus avoids the sack, dumps it off to Millington, who picks up solid yardage. And, you know, we go back to what Gene Gaines said on the sidelines to the defense. Just forget about it. I think the offense has to forget about the defense. If they can get in here, get the touchdown, they're right back in it.
2:08 to go. In the opening quarter, the Lions down 21-0. McManus on first down has Alexander again. Jason Wallace putting the stop on Alexander. Far side of the field.
Well, it's a nice spot. It's early. Yeah, it's a nice scheme for BC. They're taking really 6 receivers out, both backs. Leave the backfield, and Danny McManus just spreading that entire defense out all the way across the field and completing the nice passes underneath it.
Penalty on the play. Jake Ireland in charge of proceedings. The Lions were offside, so it'll be 1st and 15 now. Minute 51 to go in the opening quarter. Flawless drive for McManus until the previous play. The draw to Millington, and he gets the first down. Big hit on Millington by Wiley, or maybe it was the other way around. Millington ran into Wiley.
Well, he's a big load to bring down, Sean Millington, 6'3", 2 1/4, as we said, and some pretty good contact downfield right there by 7 John Wiley. Shooting a pretty good shot at him. This is a nice-looking drive, and one that could be a huge confidence builder for the BC Lions.
21 yards for Sean Millington to set the Lions up inside the Sacramento 15. McManus cool under pressure, trying to find Corey Philpott. And Bailey was covering number 23.
BC Lions using more motion tonight than I've seen them throughout the year, and obviously trying to confuse the Sacramento secondary with all that motion and players changing spots. But That particular play, it looked like Philpott and Basinger kind of bumped each other off the line of scrimmage, and the play never developed.
It'll be 2nd and 10 for the Lions. The ball spotted right on the 15. Gold Miners lead 21-0 with 44 seconds to go in the opening quarter in Sacramento. Some early movement from Sacramento. Talked about Danny McManus having a perfect record as a starter for the BC Lions, 2-0. He actually has a perfect record in Canadian football as a starter. He was 6-0 when he started for the Blue Bombers.
DG number 58, still 2nd down.
He's a great guy to have on your team, and will do anything that the coaches ask of him. Never complains if he is not the starter, which has been the case throughout most of his career in the CFL. But it seems like every time he's called upon, usually good things happen.
A couple of penalties have hurt the Lions on this drive, but it still has been impressive. 2nd and 15 now. McManus looking to the corner, and he missed. Alexander far side of the field. Humphrey was covering number 39, but McManus was off target.
And that was a perfect scheme for the BC Lions. They put 4 receivers to the wide side of the field, and it's nothing more than saying, Ray Alexander, you're on the backside with Bobby Humphrey. It's all yours. Take it away. He ran the out, and Danny McManus was just off target.
Lou Pasaglia in for the first time. On 33 of 45. And the Lions have their first points on a Lou Pasaglia field goal. The end of the opening quarter has the Gold Miners in front of the Lions, 21-3. Long way to go, and that was an impressive drive for BC. This is CFL Live from Sacramento.
The violent forces of nature, her fury unleashed, and in her path, devastation, destruction, and lives turned upside down. Now the important collector's edition video, The Fury of Nature, tornadoes, hurricanes, earthquakes, and other natural disasters. This spellbinding work chronicles through eyewitness video the raw power of natural forces out of control. It's a frightening and fascinating look at the awesome forces of nature. Fearsome winds, torrents of rain, from tornadoes and hurricanes to raging fires and devastating floods. You will experience through sights and sounds the wonder and terror of these catastrophes as they happen. The Fury of Nature, tornadoes, hurricanes, earthquakes, and other natural disasters is $19.95, and it's not available in any store. Call now.
Southwest Conference football. It's not just a game, it's a tradition as big as Texas. With the history of Heisman winners and national champions, the SWC is on the rise again. Top-ranked teams and time-honored rivalries find their home in the only conference within the confines of one state. The Southwest Conference, a tradition as big as Texas. All season on HSE. You are watching Prime Network, serving America's great sports networks. This Prime Network presentation will continue after this.
Why get an inferior foam shave when you could have the best? Why choose ordinary lubrication when you could have the richest? Why settle for average protection against razor irritation when there's something more advanced than foam? Edge Gel. Ultimate closeness. Ultimate comfort. That's the Edge. And now there's new soothing Edge Aftershave for sensitive, dry, and normal skin.
It's a gay problem.
It's only in the inner city.
Those drug addicts had to come in.
It's a moral issue.
I could never get it.
One of the biggest challenges in the fight against AIDS is overcoming the myths and prejudices associated with the disease. At the Arthur Ashe Foundation, we're working to help people better understand the truth about AIDS. Because AIDS isn't their problem, it's our problem. The Arthur Ashe Foundation for the Defeat of AIDS has the support of players worldwide. Now we need yours.
Sacramento Gold Miners scored 3 quick touchdowns to take a 21-0 lead. They have had it all their way, including on this play, the penalty against BC for no yards. The Gold Miners retain possession and have great field position once more.
They've had a few breaks here in the first half. No yards by Kelly Sims there, and BC doesn't get the fumble. Titus Dixon down the goal line fumbles, and he's able to recover his own fumble. They go in and score. For David Archer and his team, everything kind of going their way. Great field position, too, all the time.
Yeah, again, like right now, at the 50-yard line with 10:21 to go till halftime.
He needs 352 yards for 6,000. I'm not sure he wants that great field position all night long. And I'm just being facetious. He loves it.
Well, the way he's been going, he should have a pretty good opportunity to hit the 6,000 target. He's passed for 70 yards so far. Little play action, and here's more yardage for James Pruitt. Tom Europe over to make the tackle on Pruitt. And a 32-yard gain for the Sacramento Gold Miners.
Yeah, going back again to what I said earlier, they've seen on film that play action really freezes the linebacker. See Jackson 42 in your middle, and he just doesn't get a drop. And Pruitt, it's just that intermediate area. You completed about 18 yards downfield, and it's nice recognition by Pruitt to find the open spot, but it's that play action that just really impeding the BC linebackers from getting back in their coverage.
Rod Harris to the near side on first down at the Lion 28. Archer looking for the end zone and just overthrew his intended receiver, Mike Oliphant, number 33.
That's intended for Mike Oliphant, 33.
Boy, Leaf, what a break the Lions caught there. They only had 11 men on the field, and they were lucky they had every man covered.
Makes it tough when you've only got 11 out there. I hope they were short of linemen.
Actually, a linebacker, it turned out.
Well, you know things aren't, a team's not prepared if they're making mistakes like that. Only 11 guys out there on a normal defensive sequence. It's not like they do a lot of shuttling in of players. I'm disappointed with what they've shown here in the first half.
David Archer, 6 of 11 for 102 yards. This is 2nd and 10, and Archer is in trouble here. Caught by Glenn Scribner, number 72. Tim Lorenz also in on the tackles.
Yeah, Tim Lorenz was in there to help. Glenn Scribner as well will make the contact, and it is Tim Lorenz that should get credit for that sack, his 2nd of the season, and he has been able to fit in nicely. Ken Warnock is out with an injury, and Tim Lorenz has subsequently had more playing time and has picked up his level.
3rd and a bunch. So here's Jim Crouch, good on 28 of 44, 63.6% field goal percentage. And he's wide. The Lions decide to give up the single point. It can't hurt right now. 8:30 to go into the half, and it's 22-3. BC. From California, CFL Live.
I took diet pills. I lost 30.
Your legs. Discover what numerous customers have found. With regular exercise on Nordic Track, you can take weight off and keep it off. And we're so confident you'll lose weight too, we guarantee it. We'll guarantee that you'll lose at least 10 pounds in 60 days or your money back. Call now for a free video and brochure. Ask about our 60-day weight loss satisfaction guarantee.
In Canadian football at the head of the class, Doug Flutie, followed by Winnipeg's Matt Dunnigan. And then there's David Archer and Ken Austin in touchdown tosses. Absolutely amazing numbers. And when you look at Archer gunning for 6,000 here tonight to join an exclusive club with Flutie and Austin, and you think about all of the quarterbacks, the great ones in this league, who didn't hit 6,000 yards in a season. Pretty amazing numbers for David Archer in his first year.
Well, I think everybody in the league knew, and you're talking about other head coaches and players around the league, with the strong arm of David Archer, and I guess the real question mark was how well would he adapt different style, and he's adapted perfectly to this game. He's a great reader of defenses. He's got a good release, so there's a lot of positives for David Archer, and it's phenomenal what he's done, but to me, really not surprising.
First down for the Lions. Sean Millington. And he ran into Vance Hammond. Surprising they haven't gone to Corey Philpott a little bit tonight, because Philpott was the one bright light against the Eskimos last Friday night.
I think you're right. He hasn't touched the ball yet, but Millington on the draw, and there's Vance Hammond and Freeman right there to meet him. But, you know, you look at this Sacramento team and what they might have to do in the offseason to improve. I think offensive line and defensive line are maybe some areas that they could improve on. Their skilled positions, they have quality players.
Second down and 9. Here comes the charge. McManus hit as he threw. Turner made the catch, but he's well short of the first down because Jason Wallace had tight coverage on Lonnie Turner, number 21. 7:24 to go till halftime, and the Lions can't get anything rolling tonight.
I think Sacramento's kept them off balance nicely with their defense, and they don't blitz a lot, but that time they brought just enough people to upset the timing of Danny McManus, and he had to throw to the short guy when it's second and long, and it just won't get it done.
One deep for Sacramento. It's Titus Dixon. Pasaglia gets it away, and Dixon waits at the 27. He lost a yard on the return. Kelly Sims leading the tacklers. A 43-yard punt by Pasaglia. And this is the worst field position the Gold Miners have had all night long, beginning near the 25.
You know, you look at David Archer and his quest for the 6,000-yard mark. We've talked a lot about it tonight, but see, the odds might be in his favor. Last time he played against BC Lions in their big win, he had 432 passing yards. So, you know, you always have teams you feel good about playing against, and I would have to think that David Archer would feel good about playing against the BC Lions tonight.
Counting the preseason, the Gold Miners have beaten the Lions twice.
Yeah, they want to play them every week.
Archer standing in, and he's off target that time for Mike Oliphant. Kelly Sims was covering on Oliphant that time. Gordon?
Yeah, John, a note for Leaf. It's interesting on the Lions sidelines. Dave Ritchie met with the defense, and they were playing zone coverage to try to help out some of their new people. They got a lot of people banged up here. Ritchie said, forget it. We're going back to man-to-man. If we're going down with our defense.
And I like the style. You go with your strength.
Archer looking for Oliphant again, and it's 2 and out for the Gold Miners. So the BC defense hangs in that time. And for a change, they might have decent field position organized for the offense.
Yeah, that's not a great matchup, Mike Oliphant on Kelly Sims. Kelly Sims is a young defensive back that I think is going to be a heck of a good one. In a few games I've seen him play, his coverage has always been pretty solid. So I think that's a very favorable matchup when you put Oliphant on Sims for the BC Lions.
Gardere standing at his 11-yard line. Gold Miners leading the Lions 22-3. Freeman Basinger back near his 37, and there's nowhere to go, so Basinger gets out, but a penalty marker comes down. 47-yard punt, solid for Gardere. We'll check out the infraction when we return to Hornet Field in Sacramento. This is CFL Live.
This may look like an ordinary compact disc, but actually, it's an interactive encyclopedia. A stimulating match with a tennis pro. An interactive adventure through fantastic worlds. A glimpse into the world of Vincent van Gogh, or even a feature-length Hollywood movie. This is CDI, Compact Disc Interactive. A new world standard in multimedia home entertainment from Philips Electronics. You might expect to pay over $1,000 for an entertainment system that does this much, but now you can own a Philips CDI player for only $499. You can choose from more than 100 interactive titles by world-renowned publishers. CDI titles start at just $15. During this special TV promotion, we'll include Compton's Interactive Encyclopedia on disc, a $299 retail value, yours free during this limited time offer. Call the number on your screen now for a free brochure and for the location of your nearest CDI retailer.
Stay with us at halftime for the final edition of the Ferroni File for the 1993 season. Sports updates and the story of the game. All David Archer, BC Lions have struggled. Dave Ritchie is fit to be tied on the BC sideline.
John, the story of this game is 2 BC fumbles. Basinger fumbled, Millington fumbled, and the result was 14 Sacramento points, which put the blood pressure of Dave Ritchie to an all-time high.
He was talking yesterday about having too many rookies in his lineup, and as we've noted from the start of this season, Dave Ritchie likes guys with experience, adding James West and Ty Jones to this lineup, and Les Brown, and players with significant CFL experience. He's had to go with some rookies because of injuries, and that made him nervous yesterday, and I guess we're seeing why right now. I don't know if it's all rookie mistakes out there, but there have been some leaks in the defense as well as the turnovers.
Well documented that Dave Ritchie has always been a coach that wanted veteran players playing for him, and that's just not the case tonight.
1st and 10. The draw to Millington, and a big hole opens up for Sean Millington. First down BC as he gets out across the 45. Jason Wallace up to make the tackle.
I guess the big thing for Danny McManus and the Lions offense now is they just have to be patient. Obviously 18 points is not insurmountable if the defense can pick up their game a notch, and so stick with the game plan, and obviously that includes the odd draw here and there. Stick with the game plan, grind away, and just try to slowly get yourself back into this one.
And a good move by Millington to get by Curtis Moore. First down BC. Near the 45. McManus with time, looking deep, and lucky he wasn't intercepted there. Basinger was the intended receiver. Wiley and Wallace over on the coverage, and their former teammate Freeman Basinger. Penalty against Sacramento, so the Lions will have a first down regardless. A roughing penalty against Sacramento gives the Lions a first down at the goal miners 50. This might be the break the Lions needed. They had been taking all the penalties prior to this. McManus has a hole open up, and he slides for about an 8-yard gain. Curtis Moore was there to pin the Lion quarterback.
And one statistic we were teasing Danny about yesterday was the fact that he has never rushed for a touchdown in his pro career. This time he does a nice job, and once Curtis Moore, the middle linebacker, takes that deep drop and there's an opening, it's a good spot for McManus to run. But he said, with all our teasing, he said, why would I ever run for a touchdown when I could just hand it off to the bigger guys and let them get hit?
Makes sense most of the time.
Yeah, I think it does.
2nd and 2, Flutie to the near side. And Millington has tough running as he closes in on a first down. This will be real close as Hammond moved up to make the tackle. I don't think the Lions have the first down. Hang on, I'm wrong. They do. 1st and 10 as Millington keeps the drive alive. 4:01 to go till halftime. Sacramento leading 22-3. Millington has been the workhorse for the Lions along the ground. Corey Philpott has not carried the ball.
He's not touched it, receiving or running. Kind of surprising.
The Lions are at the gold miners 40 on first down. Millington once more, and he's ready to play. He's down to the 30, close to another first down. The middle linebacker, Curtis Moore, number 94, put the stop on Millington that time.
This is the best drive that the BC Lions have done at keeping the Sacramento defense off balance, spreading those receivers out, and then running the sprint draw, which is always a pretty good call. Invite those linemen upfield, and Curtis Moore all of a sudden is having to make a lot of tackles, and Sean Millington finding his way through the line pretty easily.
Alexander to the far side of the field. Flutie to the near side. This is 2nd down. Less than a yard to go. Markers are down. And Hammond moved a little bit early, number 79. Timeout in Sacramento. 3:05 till the half, and the Lions have a chance to get back into the game. We'll see how they do when we return to CFL Live from California.
Premiering.
Final game of the regular season for the BC Lions. They start Danny McManus at quarterback, and we asked receiver Darren Flutie if there's any difference with McManus in there or Danny Barrett.
I don't think there is much of a difference whichever player is in there, because I think the offense isn't built around our quarterback. I think maybe some offenses are. Maybe Calgary's built around Doug, and some other teams are built around their quarterback. Our offense is built around our total personnel, our receivers, our offensive lines, a very good offensive line, and we have great backs. So we don't depend solely upon the quarterback, even though it is a passing game. A lot of other guys can rise up and make plays, no matter who's in there.
Barrett is watching from the sidelines as McManus starts for the third time for the BC Lions in 1993.
Yeah, the other two were necessity starts. Danny Barrett was at home in Florida attending a funeral of his brother, and the other time Danny Barrett wasn't feeling well. So this is the first time McManus has started by simply a decision between the two.
Penalty before the break against Sacramento to set BC up with a first down, and this is it, but McManus can't get it away. Greg Jolson getting to the BC quarterback that time, number 98. Jolson is into the game because of an injury to Brent White.
Greg Jolson up here will finally come around and get the sack on Danny McManus. He actually played a few games for the BC Lions early in his career, and this time working on Vic Stevenson. Once Stevenson drops his head, the game is over, and Jolson goes by and gets the sack. A pretty crucial sack.
Loss of 6. 2nd and 16 with 2:28 to go till halftime. Big play for the Lions here. McManus standing in. And the catch can't be made. Lonnie Turner, number 21.
I think it really shows you here how much they miss Mike Trevathan and Matt Clark in there at slot backs. And, you know, this is not a knock on Lonnie Turner, but, you know, at 5'7", he's a tough target to find in there. And that time he was open, but he just simply couldn't hang on to the football. But to me, there's no question that having Trevathan and Clark out really hurts the function of this offense.
Lou Pasaglia 1 for 1. And now 2 for 2, but the Lions could have used a touchdown rather than 3 points there. It is now 22-6 with 2:16 to go till halftime. So Pasaglia has had a perfect night so far, but the Lions have to get to the end zone to get caught up to the Sacramento Gold Miners.
Well, in a game when mistakes usually decide the outcome, the BC Lions have made all the crucial mistakes here in the first half, and really Sacramento is yet to make a mistake that hurts them. So really the reason why Kay Stevenson's club is ahead by the 15-point margin.
All right, the BC Lions stick to their man-to-man defense. They're concerned their rookie halfbacks, Kelly Sims and Derek Greer. They're both vulnerable, but the Lions will stay man-to-man.
Well, that's the area that most teams try to attack, Gord.
First down. Parker was the intended receiver, number 86, but Carl Parker couldn't make the catch.
Add to that, normally Eddie Taylor would be playing one of the halfback positions, but when Kent Warnock got injured for BC, they got into non-import trouble. So as a result, they had to draw Greer into the lineup. And those two rookies where the Lions feel they're vulnerable, perhaps deep, and they're hoping Sacramento doesn't discover that.
Sacramento knows it, Gord. Chatting with Archer before the game, he said, hey, that's the area that we want to work against, the two inside halfbacks of the Lions.
Archer got on 6 of 14 for 102 so far, trying to add to that total here, and he does. Catch made far side. Rod Harris, big first down for the Gold Miners. Substantial yardage with 2:06 to go to the half.
Well, he switched back to his own defense there, and it was a pretty soft zone. Derek Greer just couldn't get out wide enough to get underneath the coverage of Harris. And, you know, this is why David Archer's had such a great year. The touch on that ball was just perfect. He had to feather it into the open area for Harris, and a spectacular throw.
First catch by Harris on the night, good for 19 yards. Sacramento set up just shy of midfield at the 54 with first down. Archer back in a hurry, just dumped it off for Mike Pringle, number 27, and he couldn't make the catch. The throw a bit.
Glenn Scribner having the best year of his career, coming into the game with 9 sacks, and a Canadian who's just worked very, very hard at his game. Entire front group of the BC Lions has had a good year, 55 sacks coming into this game, second only to the Edmonton Eskimos, 65. Part of their success.
Archer on 2nd and 10 from the shotgun. Gets a little heat and got it away. First down as Harris makes his 2nd catch in a row.
Well, that's a great throw, low and away. The only place that it could have been completed. Les Brown had tremendous coverage on Rod Harris, and David Archer absolutely put it in the perfect spot. You're going to get a great look at it here. Watch how Les Brown, a little tug of the jersey and then closes in, but you can't cover really any better than that. Just a super throw.
Right on the money. 1:45 to go. 1st and 10, Sacramento at the BC 41. Good fake to Oliphant, and Archer throwing back against the flow for Pringle. He'll have enough for the first down, or rather for Pruitt, number 87. And the BC Lions defense a little bit leaky. 19 yards on the toss from Archer to James Pruitt, number 87.
That's good looking play. David Archer, the fake on the sweep, and then all the way back across the field to Pruitt, who snuck underneath all the way from the right side. Then you've got some good blocking out front. Chris Dyko, the right tackle, all the way across the field. And that's a play that we haven't seen from Sacramento yet this year. They put in just for this week, and good looking play.
Just outside the 20. Archer on 1st down. Looks for the home run toss, and he's got it. Carl Parker. Came into the game with 2 touchdowns on the season. And that looked easy for the Gold Miners, who move out in front 28-6.
And it was against Kelly Sims, number 3. He came up and played Parker tight. Parker just blew by him, and once again a good throw. Tommy Europe, 13, the middle safety, couldn't get across. And boy, you have to be impressed with the level of the offensive abilities tonight of the Sacramento Gold Miners. They have been on target. Carl Parker comes up with his 3rd touchdown of the season.
Jim Crouch adds to the total with just over a minute to go till halftime.
BC Lions have lived and died with giving up the big play all year long, and that's really only the 2nd really big play that the defense has given up tonight. The long run by Mike Pringle for a touchdown, and now this David Archer, Carl Parker touchdown pass and reception combo. But for Dave Ritchie, his defense ranks last in the CFL. I mean, there's no secret they have struggled in that department, and primarily by giving up too many big plays.
And Ritchie responsible for the best defense in Canadian football over the previous 2 seasons, with Ottawa last year and with the Blue Bombers the season before that. But he hasn't been able to get his Lions defense up to par, at least in the last couple of games. Injuries a bit of a factor, but Archer has pulled off another impressive scoring drive. 6 plays, 75 yards, at a time of a minute 8. The touchdown toss to Carl Parker.
Well, I don't think it's any secret the BC Lions like to play an aggressive pass rush style of defense, but I mean, you got to have the personnel to match that style, and the inside halfbacks of the Lions have really been killed with it this year.
Corey Philpott ready to return for BC. Philpott appeared to be stopped and fights hard to get out near the 30-yard line. 59 seconds till halftime. Philpott was number 1 in kickoff return yardage with 969 yards coming into the game. That's kickoff returns. And that's the first time, to my knowledge, that he's had his hands on the football tonight.
I think you're right. Boy, you can see how wide a margin he does lead in that department. Personally, he would love to get over the 1,000 mark. The only bad news about that is when the other team's kicking off, it means they're scoring a few points.
Absolutely right. A minute to work with for Danny McManus. He has Philpott. And that'll be a first down with 51 seconds till the half.
And that's a good play against Sacramento that is predominantly a first down zone team, and let those linebackers drop out of there and dump it off to a guy like Corey Philpott, who could obviously get you some first downs in a hurry, but he has such great speed. He has the ability to take that one a lot longer.
McManus looks to the far side, and Darren Flutie can't bring it in, but there's a penalty marker down quickly. Coverage by Derek Davis, number 22.
That ball seemed to hang in the air just a little bit longer than it normally did, and so often happens. The defensive backs are timing it what they think is the perfect timing, but they end up getting there and creating the contact. But That ball seemed to just be a tiny bit late getting there.
Sacramento number 22, first down.
43 seconds till halftime, and Derek Davis takes the call. McManus with time, and he underthrew his intended receiver that time.
I talked to Danny McManus about Lonnie Turner, who he was trying to hit on that last play, and what kind of an inside slot back he would be. You know, Danny said, well, it shouldn't be any problem. He played in the silver stretch, the run and shoot offense with the Detroit Lions, and when he was there, he did play one of the inside receiver spots. So although he's only 5'7", pretty small guy, he is not unfamiliar with playing in the slot.
But they are missing Trevathan and Clark, their two starting slot backs, who combined for over 130 catches, 12 touchdowns on the season. Alexander couldn't make the catch, and it'll be third down for the Lions, trailing 29-6. Alexander with 70 catches and 1,188 yards coming into this game.
And once again, the problem tonight has been Danny McManus throwing high to all those receivers. And when you overthrow Ray Alexander at 6'4", I mean, you've really overthrown somebody.
Lou Pasaglia inside his 40 with 33 seconds till the half. Rolling out, and there's no play for Titus Dixon with 24 seconds remaining. 44-yard punt for Lou Pasaglia. The Eastern Division will be decided tomorrow. Will it be Ottawa or Toronto on against the Tiger Cats in the semifinal? And the West will be decided tomorrow, if not tonight. Edmonton, currently in second spot, will play in Calgary with a chance to lock up second place with a victory. Saskatchewan and BC still fighting for the final positioning, or the final positions in the Western race. It could be 2, 3, or 4.
Yeah, of course, the BC Lions, they lose this game. The loss means that they go to Calgary for a semifinal matchup with the Red Hot Stampeders, which I don't think is what they envisioned.
I don't. Well, they certainly could have avoided that with a win last week over Edmonton, and a decent performance here, trailing 29-6. It has been a tough night for the Lions already.
Well, you look at the Lions coming in tonight 10-7. A year ago at this time, they'd only won 3 games, 3-14 to be precise. So obviously they have improved. But I think Dave Ritchie would be honest with you and say that they will look back at this season, and there have been a couple of key games that they should have won. I think they should have felt like they should have beaten Sacramento at home when in those final 50 seconds everything fell apart and they lost that game. So certainly they have improved, but there have been a few blemishes.
They lost to a very solid Edmonton team last week. Damon Allen was hot, but the point being made is they had an opportunity to lock up second spot, and they really didn't have much of a football game at all. There were very few shining stars for the Lions at BC Place last Friday night.
All you ask for in sport is to be able to control your own destiny, and certainly the Lions have had that luxury this year. They haven't responded well to it, but the good news for them is that they have been able to control their own fate.
They didn't get an effort against the Eskimos. The BC Lions didn't last week, and they haven't had much of an effort here so far. Turnovers have been part of the story. But with 15 seconds to go, the gold miners are going to head to the dressing room with a very substantial lead at halftime.
Go back to that Edmonton game. Have you ever seen Damon Allen better?
No, I don't think so. 170 yards rushing.
And
he was on target as a passer as well, so he kept the Lions off balance all night long.
And John, I made the comment during that game, and it's worth repeating. It's the first time in a long time that I saw Damon Allen play with a tremendous amount of emotion, laughing and smiling and really enjoying himself out there. Usually he's pretty calm and stoic, and you don't see that side of him, but I think it helped his game, and it was fun to watch him.
A tough half for the BC Lions, who gave up 3 touchdowns before they hit the scoreboard. The Lions head to the dressing room, trailing David Archer and the Sacramento Gold Miners 29-6. It's halftime, and this is the CFL Live from California.
We've all done this before. You hang a picture, you change its position, you change it again, and before you know it, your wall looks like a dartboard. Forget those nails, forget those screws, forget those damaged walls forever. Introducing the Does It Handy Hanger. Nothing does it like does it. Just place a handy disc on the applicator and watch the special adhesive heat up. Press it on the wall, and that's it. Use the Does It Handy Hanger on painted walls, on wood paneling, on wallpaper. As the adhesive cools, it creates a molecular bond that safely holds up to 10 pounds and more. But the patented handy hanger can be removed as easily as it attaches without leaving any mark at all. A nail in ceramic tile? Forget it. But does it on tile. It even does it on glass. And look, your Does It Handy Hanger also comes with these utility hooks. Use them in the kitchen to hang oven mitts and even pots and pans. Use them in the bathroom for towels and your blow dryer. Use them in the bedroom to hang your bathrobe, in your living room for curtain tiebacks, in your shed for tools, on your patio for plants. Does it easily, everywhere. Stop banging nails in your walls, drilling monster holes for hollow wall anchors, and forget those peel and stick hooks. They won't hold your breath, and look at the marks they make. That wall is ruined, but Handy Hanger can be removed cleanly from any surface. Amazing! You get the Does It electric applicator, 10 handy discs, 10 utility hooks, and the handy disc remover, all for $29.95. Order your Does It Handy Hanger now.
For rush delivery, call 1-800-776-9400. That's 1-800-776-9400. Or send $29.95 plus $5.95 shipping to Does It, P.O. Box 667, Department Number 246, Georgetown, Connecticut, to receive yours. Order now. Call 1-800-776-9400.
We're back in Sacramento, 64-20. The gold miners are kind of putting things together. This is April of the Sacramento Gold Miner Dances. We talked to David Archer. We've talked to some fans. Tell me about the fan response here in Sacramento in the first season.
Oh, it's actually really good. I'm surprised. We're usually having about 15,000, about 20,000 fans each game, so it's turning out good.
Now, of course, everyone wants to know at the end of the season, you know, are the fans going to be back and are the players going to be back? Are you going to be back next year?
I'll be back. I think most of us will.
So you had a good season then in Sacramento.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
Well, congratulations and thanks for being such hospitable hosts.
Thank you.
I think April's on the long-term contract here.
I would think so. At least a 2-year deal, $251 to play. In the fourth quarter, Oliphant lost a couple on the pitch from Kerwin Bell.
Miller gets all the tough.
The Ferroni File is brought to you by Canadian Air Cargo. Express overnight, door-to-door service from $9.99.
Well, it's hard to believe, but the CFL regular season is almost over. This is the final week before the playoffs start. This is also the Ferroni File's final show of the season. So we thought it would be nice to wrap things up with a best of type of show. So without further delay, let's begin with our picks for the best two-handed catches of the year.
In the number 5 spot is this big-time effort by the Argos' Robert Clark. Number 4 is this diving beauty by Walter Stanley of the Ottawa Rough Riders. In at number 3 is this grab by Edmonton's Eddie Brown. How did he even see it? Our runner-up for Catch of the Year is this gem, turned in by Don Narcisse of the Saskatchewan Roughriders. It helps to be a bit lucky as well. But our choice for Catch of the Year goes to Darren Flutie of the BC Lions.
It seems some receivers find it pretty boring making catches with both hands. So we had to come up with another award. This one is for one-handed Catch of the Year.
In at number 5, Ray Alexander of the BC Lions.
Number 4, our old friend Darrell K. Smith of the Edmonton Eskimos. Eddie Brown of the Eskies checks in again with not one, but 2 great catches. He makes it look so easy, doesn't he? But our choice for best one-handed catch of the year goes to Rod Harris of the Sacramento Gold Miners. Our next category is the best sack dance of the year, and this one wasn't even close. The CFL sack leader, Alfred Payton, is the runaway winner. Why? Well, take a look at this. The celebration that never ends, just like the Energizer Rabbit. Payton just keeps on going and going, easily the best defensive dance of the year. Our next category is Best Touchdown Dance by an Offensive Player. And in this case, we had a lot of candidates to choose from. At number 5, Damon Allen of the Eskimos for this simple but effective touchdown strut. In at number 4, Cornell Burbage and Lonzel Hill for this unusual display. Another dance pair comes in at number 3, Gerald Alphin and David Williams of the Blue Bombers. Alphin showed that he's versatile. He can work without a partner as well. But our best TD dance of the year goes to Brian Wiggins of the Stampeders for this unique display. One problem, we have no idea what to call it. Now on to our final category, Hit of the Year. We had a lot of candidates to choose from. So many, in fact, that we decided to put them all together in one final version of Football Ferroni Fashion.
Diane Parkinson. After 18 years on The Price is Right and all those swimsuits, I've learned the secret to a good figure. It's right here, a firm tummy. That's why I'm so excited about something new, something simpler than sit-ups. It's called Easy Crunch. Easy Crunch, the greatest tummy toner I've ever found. It's so simple you can do it anytime, anywhere, by the pool, at the office, or even watching TV.
With 2 kids, it's hard to work out. But I find time with Easy Crunch.
I like to exercise when I'm watching TV, and I can use Easy Crunch while I'm sitting down.
Aerobic exercise is great, but it took Easy Crunch to firm my tummy.
Easy Crunch works all 3 abdominal muscle groups.
The Forward Crunch works the upper abdominals. Knee-ins target your lower stomach muscles, and the Rotator Crunch works your waistline. The secret is in the special rocking cylinder, which allows your body to move in an easy, natural arc through a full range of motion, similar to those $3,000 machines you find in the gym.
The result? A firmer, tighter stomach without having to do one single sit-up.
I hate sit-ups, but I love my Easy Crunch.
I'm too busy to go to the gym. Easy Crunch works at home.
Easy Crunch takes just a few minutes a day, and it works.
Easy Crunch comes with 5 power bands so you can change the resistance. That makes it perfect for everyone.
Now you can get a firmer stomach without doing a single sit-up. Call and order your Easy Crunch today.
The Price is Right. Easy Crunch, including 5 power bands and instruction booklet, is yours for just 3 easy payments of $9.95. To order, call 1-800-842-7900. That's 1-800-842-7900. We'll bill your credit card 3 easy payments of $9.95, plus $4.95 shipping and handling. And we won't bill your last payment until you've tried it for a full 60 days. Use your credit card to avoid COD charges, or send check or money order for the full amount to the address on your screen. Or call 1-800-842-7900 now.
Sports Update is brought to you by Canadian Air Cargo Express overnight door-to-door service from $9.99.
Welcome back to TSN Control, everyone. I'm Gino Retta. Well, the rematch is now underway in Las Vegas. Riddick Bowe, the heavyweight champion of the world, facing Evander Holyfield. Remember, just about a year ago, Riddick Bowe took away the title from Evander Holyfield. Well, they're now into the 7th round. According to the wire services, that's the way they've been scored thus far. Bowe taking rounds 1 and 2, Holyfield and Bowe splitting rounds 3 and 4, and Holyfield taking round 5 and 6. We'll update that a little later on. Right now, let's check in quickly a couple of hockey scores. Toronto defeating Philadelphia by a score of 5-3 at the Gardens. At the Forum in Montreal, it was the Habs 4-3 losers to the visiting Flames. And in St. Louis, the Edmonton Oilers visiting in overtime. The Blues score of 6-5. We're going to take a quick break, then send you back to Sacramento, where the Gold Miners lead 29-6.
It was against the rules to play in the car with my friends, and I knew it. I nearly ran over Grandpa. And I flattened Dad's new chicken coop. Was it the other girl's fault? No. It was me. All right. I will never forget what Dad said that day. When you knew you were in big trouble, you still told the truth.
And we are so proud of you.
The important lessons in life are learned at home from the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints.
Here are the numbers from the opening half at Hornet Field in Sacramento. Net yards favoring the Gold Miners, 243 to 169. Passing yardage also in David Archer's favor, and the turnovers, as mentioned, a big part of the Lions' problems. Time of possession, 2 minutes, separating the Lions and the Gold Miners. Ready for the second half? Almost. Let's bring in Gord Miller.
All right, thanks very much, John. Dave Ritchie was as angry as his players have ever seen him at halftime. Tried to kick down the door to the Lions dressing room. He was unsuccessful in that attempt. However, he was successful in getting his message through to his team, and it was this. If you're man enough to win this football game, then perhaps you deserve to finish second place. But if you don't, then you're not man enough, and whatever happens to you in the postseason, you deserve. A strong message and an angry head coach at halftime.
I'm not surprised at that. Are you? That's.
No, I'm not surprised at all. In fact, when we had a conversation with Dave yesterday, I said, you know, what did you talk to the players about all week long? And it was a simple message. You know, you guys have played horribly last week, and there are jobs at stake. Yes, we have had a successful season. Yes, we have turned it around, but we have not played well as of late. So there are some jobs on the line, and he mentioned that.
The Lions have lost some players over the past couple of weeks because of injury, most notable Matt Clark and Mike Trevathan, but the Gold Miners are coming into this game with 4 players injured. Last week they lost 2 defensive linemen, Emmanuel King and Brent White, and 2 receivers, Joe Johnson and Charles Thompson, so they have had to make some adjustments. But I wouldn't think adjustments are the biggest problem the Lions are having.
Well, the Sacramento Gold Miners, when they lost Joe Howard Johnson, he was really playing well, and tough for them not to have him here tonight, but they have played well without him.
Second half is underway, and Basinger is down near the 29-yard line. Well, we'll see how the quarterback stacked up.
Well, Danny McManus a little under 50%, David Archer a little over it, but you see no real significant numbers for McManus, David Archer rather, with the 1 touchdown pass and flawless first half with no interceptions for each of them. But I think this is a crucial series to see what kind of response the BC Lion players will make to Dave Ritchie's plea at halftime to try and play a little better.
Lions begin right on the 30-yard line. McManus can't find a receiver initially. Now he finds Flutie, and Flutie gets to the 40-yard line, very close to a first down. He should have it. Derek Davis making the tackle on number 82. Darren Flutie over 1,000 yards. 71 receptions, 970 coming into the game.
Yeah, I talked to Jeff Reinbold, their receiver coach, at halftime, and he said one of the things we didn't do well in the first half was get open when McManus was scrambling that time to start the third quarter. Darren Flutie's initial pattern was covered. He slid to the open spot, and got open for McManus. So if they can do a better job of that, they might be in pretty good shape.
Second and short for the Lions. Second and less than a yard to go. Markers are down as McManus kept himself. Was not a beauty. No wonder he doesn't like to run the ball.
I was just going to say that.
Offside, Sacramento number 79, first down.
Vance Hammond jumps offside, so they get the automatic first down, but that was not the prettiest quarterback sneak you're ever going to see.
Lions keep the drive rolling with a first down out near the 45. Lonnie Turner and Freeman Basinger, the slot backs, in place of Trevathan and Clark. Here comes the charge. McManus gets it away for Philpott, and Philpott gets a couple of extra yards as Jason Wallace missed the initial tackle, but still slowed him down enough.
Yeah, John, I think they have to use Corey Philpott in the second half. He was a non-factor in the first half because they just didn't go to him. But I think Danny McManus is going to have to get Corey Philpott involved in this offense, and on simple plays like that that are easy to complete. And, you know, he breaks the tackle of Jason Wallace right there, gets a few extra yards.
2 receptions for 16 yards for Philpott, 5 yards in the previous play. 2nd and 5 Lions. McManus didn't get a chance to get it away. The blitz was on, and the Gold Miners come up with the ball. This is Jolson, and that's a touchdown, folks. Greg Jolson, a 31-yard touchdown. McManus was ruled that he wasn't in a throwing motion, and he was. It goes as a fumble and a recovery by Jolson.
Well, the turnovers just have killed the BC Lions tonight. The hit came from a blitzing Curtis Moore, the middle linebacker. And I don't know, man. McManus's arm was kind of in motion there, but obviously the officials felt it wasn't a forward progress. And 98, Greg Jolson with the fumble recovery and a pretty easy trip into the end zone. Wow, 3 turnovers, 21 points.
35-6. One more for the total, and the BC Lions are down by 30. Jolson will keep that as a souvenir, and why not? A 31-yard touchdown, and David Archer had nothing to do with that. 36-6.
Hey, hi, folks. Hey, you know, Blue and I are sitting here in La La Land in the hot sun, and we got to thinking, maybe there should be no more hitting in the game. Maybe you should take out those nasty disagreements. Make it more like a silver ballet. No more rock'em sock'em hockey. Maybe. Nah.
Quality Video presents the all-new Rock'em Sock'em 4. Hockey the way it was meant to be played.
Over 40 minutes with the best hits, goals, saves, and other stuff, if you know what I mean.
And if you're looking for the best in hockey, look no further. Quality Video also brings you top 50 playoff goals. Gretzky, Lemieux, Bobby Orr, all the superstars of hockey. Rock'em Sock'em 4 and top 50 playoff goals. Both incredible videos for only $19.95. This incredible offer is not available in stores, so pick up the phone and get in on the great hockey action.
You are watching Prime Network, serving America's great sports networks. This Prime Network presentation will continue after this.
After you shave, now there's comfort to the power of 3. It's new Soothing Edge Aftershave with 3 soothing formulas for 3 specific skin types. An aloe formula that's alcohol-free to soothe sensitive skin. Extra moisturizers to soothe if your skin is dry. And a cool vitamin E splash for normal skin. Soothing better than ever with the power of 3. New Edge Aftershave skincare for men. Ultimate comfort. That's the...
These people are serious athletes. They're reducing their risk of heart attack and taking steps toward a healthier life, not with a strenuous program. not with fancy equipment. They're just using their own 2 feet. As little as 30 minutes a day can make a big difference in your health. So isn't it time you suited up? For more information, call your American Heart Association and find out how you can help walk away from heart disease.
Another Sacramento touchdown. This one on a 31-yard fumble return by Greg Jolson. It is 36-6, and the Gold Miners have had everything go their way tonight. The Lions have been a non-factor. Offense and defense.
It's like reliving the horror show of a week ago when the Edmonton Eskimos, what was the final of that one, 51-14? 54-14. Yeah, but this is pretty much the way it was. It just got out of hand, and the BC Lions just too many points to try and come back, and I have a feeling they're kind of in that same position now.
Philpott. Markers are down as Philpott is down near the 45.
Brought down by number 86, Carl Parker.
So another key BC Lion penalty is going to wipe out a pretty decent return by Corey Philpott. Jake Ireland will tell you about it, and they'll bring it back.
Holding BC number 25. First down.
Sean Millington cut for holding. And the Lions have had an awful lot of penalties. 7 for 94 yards. McManus begins back at the 25. First and 10 BC at the 25. McManus looks to the far side of the field and has Flutie. Derek Davis was covering on Flutie, and we'll see where they spot the ball. It looks like the Lions will get a first down out of this.
Well, John, as we look at this game and what has materialized over 2.5 quarters of play, it's simple. 3 BC Lion fumbles result in 3 Sacramento touchdowns. A Millington fumble, a Basinger fumble, and then Danny McManus hit by Curtis Moore. He fumbles. Jolson picks it up for a touchdown, and that quite simply is the storyline of this 36-6 Sacramento lead.
Out to the 40-yard line on first and 10. Ryan Hansen, number 34.
I think you have to look past this game now. The Lions trailing by 30 points. And what effect will this have on the BC Lions as they enter the playoffs with 2 ugly games to finish off the season? That's going to be a difficult one to try and turn around.
Gain of 4. This is second and 6. The Lions down by 30. Basinger was the intended receiver.
And for Jason Wallace, he played against Freeman Basinger a lot this year, training camp and first part of the season. Of course, they were teammates when Basinger was here in Sacramento, and well, he read that hook pattern. It seems like every time the inside receivers of BC have run that 12-yard hook, the inside halfbacks of Sacramento have been all over them, anticipating it. Sacramento's made another good adjustment on defense tonight with Walter Bailey, the nickelback, coming in for Maurice Miller, the linebacker, and essentially playing the entire game with 6 defensive backs.
Lou Pasaglia. Titus Dixon waiting for a big bounce near the 30. Markers are down everywhere. The Lions will be penalized again. A 42-yard punt by Lou Pasaglia.
You know, Kelly Sims will be called for no yards. He had a couple of no yards penalties last week, and this is just a lack of discipline. You know, your teammates have to be yelling short punt, short punt. You have to hear it and start to react to it, but he just stood there and, you know, was a sitting duck, and that's going to cost his team some more yardage. I mean, this is a sloppy BC Lions team tonight.
No yard, 5-yard penalty. BC number 3. Major foul. Unnecessary roughness. BC number 39. First down.
Now Matt Clark, the reserve linebacker, calls for an unnecessary roughness. So 20 yards, and let's go back to the Archer watch. It's the first time he's had the ball in the third quarter, and he is halfway to that 6,000-yard mark. 176 yards he has, 176 he needs.
penalties against the Lions for 114 yards.
That's killer. 9 penalties, 3 fumbles. That tells you all you need to know about this game.
Archer looking deep. Parker down the sidelines, and it's picked up. Intercepted by Greer, and the first turnover of the ball game going toward the BC Lions. Derek Greer has his second interception of the season. And that ball hung up a little bit on Archer as he looked down the sidelines.
Just underthrew Carl Parker enough that Derek Greer was able to react and get nice position and come up with the interception. And you have to think, is this too little too late for the Lions? I know it's only the third quarter, but this interception hopefully can give their offense some kind of spark.
On the turnover, the Lions get possession at the 23. McManus has to get something going in a hurry. Looking into heavy coverage, and he almost gave it right back to the gold miners. Derek Davis had an opportunity. Flutie was the intended receiver.
One of the things Derek Davis and all the defensive backs for Sacramento are doing well tonight is just kind of staying on this intermediate area. See, Flutie can't push him off and get him out of his back pedal, and when you can't really get a defensive back out of his back pedal, you don't have much of a chance to beat them on intermediate routes. You see Davis closes it quickly and ends up making the tip right there, but unless you can get that defensive back turned and running, you're going to have a tough night.
2nd and 10 for the Lions at the 23. McManus has all kinds of time. Looks for Basinger. It's a jump ball and almost grabbed by the safety, John Wiley, number 7. $9:39 to go, third quarter, and the Lions have not made it to the end zone so far.
Actually, Basinger turned into a defensive back here and just made sure that Wiley wouldn't make the interception here.
Lou Pasaglia ready to punt from inside his 10. Titus Dixon calls for it. No markers down, but Dixon is. Near the 48, Spencer McLennan leading the BC tacklers after a 45-yard Lou Pasaglia punt. There's the score, folks. Not looking good for the Lions.
Discover the defensive training secrets of America's finest baseball school in an exciting new videotape. This is the professional instructional video that gets results. See how this group of youngsters added an amazing 6 miles per hour to their arm strength while vastly improving their running speed and defensive skills in just a few weeks of work. Baseball World's revolutionary new video features professional scout and instructor Tommy Mansky and the same defensive drills used by Baseball World's back-to-back 1990-91 AAU national championship teams. Lou Pavlovich Jr., editor of Collegiate Baseball magazine, calls it a masterpiece, the best defensive drill video ever produced. San Diego Padres Major League superstar Fred McGriff agrees.
I'm so impressed with the instructional videos by Coach Mansky that I've given them my full endorsement. When you watch them, you'll know why.
Baseball World's defensive drill video makes a great gift and benefits players of all ages and ability levels and improves coaches' practice organization. To order your copy for only $29.95, have your credit card ready and call toll-free 1-800-423-2121. Call now and we'll ship today.
Well, we're here at the sidelines of the BC Lions, and I got to tell you guys, this team, to me anyway, has come completely unglued. Players are bickering with each other. Coaches are screaming at players. They've had 11 men on the field twice in this football game. Corey Philpott almost missed a series when he was standing on the bench. I haven't seen anything quite like it, and what a turnaround from early in the year when the BC Lions appeared to be the most disciplined team in the league.
10-7 record for the Lions coming into this game. Here's Pringle breaking away for another big run for the Gold Miners. He's had a great night. Pringle is inside the Lions 40, and talk about coming unglued. The Lions are definitely that. O.J. Brigance finally made the tackle. The defense has been picked apart by the Gold Miners, not to mention the mistakes made on the turnovers.
Good hold at the point of attack. Steve Gabbard, the left tackle, just took out Glenn Scribner, and then Mike Pringle. That's the play that he scored the long 44-yard touchdown run on.
25 yards on that play. First down. Gold Miners. deep inside Lion territory, and Archer can't get anywhere as O.J. Brigance is there for his 20th quarterback sack of the season. Brigance second to Winnipeg's Alfred Payton, who has 21 sacks so far.
And Brigance just fights through the block of number 27, Mike Pringle, and gets the sack on David Archer. Well, they're going to need a lot of plays just like that one by O.J. Brigance. There you see the sack race. And
the sack race, isn't that what happens at a picnic? Second and 16, Archer operating from the shotgun and looking for Parker. What a catch! Carl Parker made the catch. It's ruled he was down. Sims was covering on Parker, and Parker headed for the end zone to try and claim his second touchdown of the ball game.
And what David Archer told me before the game is the BC Lions defense is the kind of defense that's going to give you some home run opportunities, and this is one of them. Bump and run coverage. Carl Parker with the swim technique gets in behind. No safety help from Europe, and that is a superb catch.
30 yards for Carl Parker and 30 more for David Archer's passing total as he tries to close in on 6,000 yards. Good night for Parker, 3 for 80. Here comes the charge. Archer evades it, looks to the end zone, and Dixon couldn't make the catch. Good effort, but Archer was off balance as he let it go.
Yeah, nice effort by David Archer to do a spin out and avoid the rush there to even have an attempt to throw this ball to Harris. Took a good shot from Derek McCready.
Didn't miss by all that much.
No, that would have been an unbelievable catch. That was Titus Dixon, not Rod Harris.
Archer good on 11 of 22 for 206 yards. 1 touchdown, 1 interception so far. Second and 10, Gold Miners. And Archer to the end zone. Everett makes the catch. Trey Everett. And the Gold Miners are walking away from the BC Lions. Couple of touchdowns for David Archer. Trey Everett, number 5.
Does not get a lot of playing time. Was brought in from the Saskatchewan Roughriders, but I can tell you this is one heck of a catch. Up and over. Once again, it's Kelly Sims that they pick on, and watch how Everett goes back up over the top. Hey, that's a major league catch, and that's the kind of catch that's maybe going to help David Archer get to that 6,000 yard mark tonight. Sacramento Gold Miners playing a flawless football game.
With 6:20 to go in the third quarter, the Gold Miners all over the BC Lions. Archer to Everett makes it 43-6. Gold Miners in front of the BC Lions. Nice catch. Couple of touchdowns for Archer, and he's closing in on 6,000.
He stood about 5'9" tall, but he was a giant. Billy Thomas. He ran the Boys and Girls Club where I grew up. Now I know today is different. Young people face problems I never even had to think about. But that's why now we need the Boys and Girls Club. It's a positive place where thousands of people like Billy Thomas help young people succeed. Does it work? It did for me. Support the Boys and Girls Clubs.
Polyurethane treads, air cushioned heels, deep grooves, all designed to enhance performance, making these soles tough shoes to fit.
The Dallas Mavericks are making strides, cutting, pivoting, leaping, doing whatever it takes to take the air out of the competition.
At HAC, we're not just showing off our shoes. We're showing that the Dallas Mavericks have some tough soles. New Jersey and Dallas, live Tuesday night at 7:30 on HSE.
Back to the touchdown by Trey Everett. Here he is on the line of scrimmage. We'll let it go. We're going to lose him just for a second, but it's really an interesting thing to show you about defensive back play and what's happening to Kelly Sims tonight. Just let it go a little farther. Okay, stop it right there. Okay, here's Sims here now and Trey Everett right here. Watch the head of Kelly Sims. If you're going to play bump and run coverage, at some point in time you have to turn around and locate the football. And he's just has not been able to do that tonight. Consequently, he has no idea where the ball is in the air, and the receivers have been making some nice catches over top of him.
Here's the return by Freeman Basinger. Still standing somehow. Basinger across the 35. Troy Mills leading the Sacramento tacklers once more. And it's getting a little ugly out here, folks.
I know it's Mike Pringle is one of the players involved there. I can't quite tell who the BC Lion is.
The Lions a little frustrated, to say the least. They're down 43-6 and really haven't shown very much in this football game.
Chris Skinner was involved with Mike Pringle there, and I mean, I think it's understandable. Human nature takes over here, and BC Lions obviously frustrated at themselves for how poorly they have played tonight, and seeing any good shot at hosting a home playoff game slip away.
Lions are 1st and 10 out across the 35. McManus remains at quarterback. He's hit with a throwing motion that time, and is ruled as an incomplete pass. Ledbetter was there, number 73.
I'm a little surprised, John, that maybe the BC Lions haven't made a quarterbacking switch. Maybe there's something about Danny Barrett's health that we don't know about, but they see no chance for McManus there as Ledbetter gets in with the hit.
Decline.
Holding was called against BC. Obviously, that is declined, but I think as sour as things have gone offensively tonight for BC, I'm a little surprised that Danny Barrett, who you see on your screen right there, has not had a chance to play. Although deep down, maybe Dave Ritchie saying, hey, this is such an awful game, I'm going to save Barrett and start him in the playoffs.
That might be the plan as well. Here's McManus. That's Basinger. And Basinger somehow escaped. He'll have a first down right at midfield at the 55-yard line. Jason Wallace, number 24, finally made the stop on Freeman Basinger with 5:19 to go, third quarter. Unbelievably, 43 for Sacramento, 6 for the BC Lions.
That's pretty good effort by Basinger. 23 Bailey and 21 Junior Robinson have good shots at stopping him, but somehow he's able to get loose and pick up a much-needed first down.
And the Lions are close to another first down. They'll have it, in fact. Lonnie Turner made the catch. John Wiley made the tackle. Turner caught it for a 10-yard gain and then added to that total. 23 yards in total for Lonnie Turner, number 21.
Well, they sure have a lot of offensive firepower if they could just get the ball into the hands of guys like Philpott, Lonnie Turner, and Basinger. I mean, no question they have some superb team speed.
McManus with the hurry-up offense, and he hurried that throw a little bit. There's a marker down. Coverage on the far side on Turner.
Yeah, Junior Robinson, 21, initiated some contact when the ball was in the air. I don't think there's any question that that will be called.
Illegal contact on an eligible receiver. Sacramento, number 21. First down.
That was 21 Junior Robinson on 21 Lonnie Turner, and it'll be a first down for the Lions with 4:44 to go in the third quarter. McManus looking to the corner. Tight coverage on Basinger from Wallace. No marker.
You see the difference in the coverage on the bump and run with Wallace on Basinger as opposed to Kelly Sims. Wallace able to turn and just at the last second locate, get the arm up and distract Basinger enough. And really that has been the difference between the two secondaries tonight. I think there's good things down the road for Kay Stevenson and his group. He's got some talented people at the skilled positions.
2nd and 10. Lions at the Sacramento 22. A touchdown toss. Alexander in front of Derek Davis.
And that's one area where Sacramento has been vulnerable this year. Derek Davis has had difficulty in other games with the taller receivers in the league. David Williams, who towers over Davis, had 3 touchdowns one night on very similar plays. Alexander at 6'4" is able to go up and over the top of Davis right here for the touchdown reception. And that is one vulnerable area that Sacramento will have to look at in the offseason.
4th touchdown catch of the season for Ray Alexander. And the Lions are finally into the Sacramento end zone. 43-13 now. With 4:10 to go, third quarter. 30-point difference. And maybe a little something to smile about for the Lions. That's not quite a smile yet, is it?
No, I don't think you're going to see one at all because, you know, it's an awful gut-wrenching feeling to feel what's been a successful year kind of slowly slipping away from you with really very helpless feeling, that knowing there's not a great deal on the sidelines you can do about it right now. And obviously, if they didn't respond from that awful pasting last week, you have to think what's ahead for these fans and the BC Lions in the playoffs.
Yeah, this is a group down from British Columbia with a little stop in Reno as well.
They're going to make a deposit in Reno.
Yeah, they'll do that tomorrow. Pringle is deep for the goal miners, and a short kick this time as the Lions touch it first. Now who will come up with the ball? Tough to say right there. As the goal miners, it appears, have come up with a football on the short kick. Lions had an opportunity with a couple of players there. Spencer McLennan had the last opportunity for BC there, number 16. Marker down.
Trailing 43 to 13. I think it's a pretty good gamble
number 27. Decline.
Try and recover that onside kick. This is the David Archer watch. 219 needs 352. But what an accomplishment. We've talked about it a few times, John, but I mean, that is really unbelievable in his first year that he could be part of a very elite group. Ken Austin and Doug Flutie, the only other quarterbacks to do over 6,000 yards in one season.
Penalty tacked on there. Donovan Wright was offside on that short kickoff. Here's Archer winding up on first down. Man open down the sidelines. Harris has it. He is inside the 10. Rod Harris got behind Andre Francis. And that quickly adds to Archer's total. A 56-yard gain.
And Andre Francis got caught cheating. He was trying to help one of his inside safeties. See Pruitt going down the middle of the field. Andre Francis cheats in and tries to cover two people. He gets burnt doing it. David Archer just picks out Harris, and the long bomb was successful. But that's what happens when you're struggling as a player. Sometimes you try and do too much. Andre Francis tried to cover two people and got burnt doing it.